I was very fortunate when I was in my early 20s because the economy sucked. We were just coming out of the 2008 recession. Now, for most people around me, this was bad news because people were graduating college but couldn't find a job. For me, it was almost a blessing in disguise because I didn't know what I wanted to do in my life. My parents told me that I needed to become a doctor, but then I told them that I wasn't going to go to medical school and they wanted me to go to law school. And I said, okay, I'm going to go to law school, but I was also applying to jobs, but I couldn't get a job. But at the same time, I was also an entrepreneur and I had a little bit of money saved up. So I decided to start investing in real estate because this was also when now real estate prices were at rock bottom, and I was in Michigan where real estate prices were especially depressed. So now I started investing in real estate from the money I saved up from the entrepreneurial ventures that I had going on when I was in college, and then I started to see good returns on my real estate investments because real estate prices were just hit so hard because of the 2008 crash. I started off by buying properties that were on sale between $8,000 and $30,000 and I rent them out. Now those same properties today are worth many multiples more than what I bought them for. And they're also renting for a lot more today than what they were renting for back then. But there's one investment that I made in my 20s that made me astronomically more money than the money I made from my real estate investments. It was the investments that I made in my education. Now, when I say my education, I don't mean the money that I spent to get my law degree. And I don't mean the money that I spent to get my college degree. I mean the money, the time, and the mistakes I made to get my financial education. Like when I talk about the early real estate investments that I made, everybody says the same thing. Man, it was so easy back then. Real estate was so cheap. I would have bought so much real estate and I would be rich today. But if you go back to then, people had way more money than I did. I mean, I was just a random college guy who happened to save up some money through my entrepreneurial ventures, through throwing parties in my event planning company that I had back when I was in college. People had way more money than I did, but I was investing money when they weren't. Why? I was willing to take risks. At that time, everybody, even people who had money, kept saying that real estate investing is risky. You need to run away from real estate. Everybody was trying to get as far away from real estate as possible. People who had money were trying to get away from real estate. People who had real estate experience were trying to get away from real estate. I had no real estate experience. I didn't know what real estate investing was. I didn't even know what the term real estate investing was until I got to college. I didn't know any real estate investors. I had to go out and figure it out. How did I do that? By reading books. I didn't have anyone to guide me. I didn't have anyone to go to. I read books and had to do it, and I learned and I made a lot of mistakes. Now, I wasn't the only one doing this. There were other people investing in real estate too, but I know a lot of people who had way more money than I did who didn't do the same things that I did because, well, it was risky. And people had different levels of financial education. To put it in perspective, I started from zero when it comes to financial education. The only financial education that I was ever given is that to become financially successful, I needed to study hard and become a doctor, period. That's it. Because if I become a doctor, I can earn a big salary. And if I make a big salary, I can save a lot of money. I didn't know what dividends were. I didn't know what investing was. I didn't know what real estate investing was. I didn't know what passive income was. All these things were completely foreign to me when I started college. But then I started reading books. That was my initial access to financial education. I always wanted to become successful, and I followed the traditional path. I started by studying hard so I can get into a good college. I went to a good college and I studied hard and I thought I was going to be a doctor. But then I changed my career plans when I was in college and I continued to study, taking a whole bunch of different classes, trying to figure out what I'm going to do. Then I was really confused in college. And then I decided that I'm going to go to law school because my parents said, like most traditional Indian parents, most immigrant parents, they said that if I want to keep any pride in the family, I got to at least become an attorney. So then I decided to go to law school, and then I studied hard in law school and I became an attorney, but I never worked a day as an attorney. Because along the way, I started investing in my own financial education. I started investing into myself. I started investing into my own investments, but I also started investing into my own business ideas from the things that I started doing when I was in college. And then it wasn't worth my time to be an attorney. I graduated law school. I walked. I passed the bar exam. I became a lawyer, but I haven't worked a day as an attorney because it's not worth my time to be an attorney. If you're new here and you have no idea who this random guy on YouTube is, I started a company called Briefs Media, which is a free newsletter company. I started a company called Market Insiders, which is an investing education app. And I also started a law firm where, yeah, I don't work as an attorney, but I refer people to attorneys because, well, what I've learned is that there's a lot of attorneys out there. Some of them are good, some of them are bad. And I've worked with a lot of attorneys. and I've been able to find some good attorneys, so I help people find attorneys who need an attorney. These are the things that I do when I also make YouTube videos as well. If you enjoyed this short clip from my longer videos, here's another clip that I think you'll love. And while you're at it, if you're interested in learning more about how to start generating passive income, our team put together an amazing guide on how to start generating passive income for free. All you gotta do is click that button right over there. Thank you for watching, and as always, keep hustling.